Hi, friends. So today I want to talk about how to deal with difficult people. We're all going to deal with difficult people um, throughout our lives, whether it's that's you stuck in traffic with, someone you work with, a relative, a friend. Everyone is going to encounter someone that's been difficult for them. And the thing about it is, of course, not to take things personally. Um, and then you don't treat them the way they're treating you. Because the scripture, if you look at Romans 12, verses 21, it says, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. So you don't treat bad behavior with more bad behavior. You do the opposite. If they're treating you evil, mistreating you, lying about you, you do the opposite. And once you are showing your character and you're showing you're a good person, you're consistent, the truth will come out eventually, because they'll show, he or she doesn't seem like that. So don't ever worry about defending yourself, and don't take what they say personally, and don't let them take you to the person that you don't want to be or not destined to be. Another thing is, I think it's also God also tests our character to see if we will be more like Christ-like, or are we going to revert back to our old ways. It's important for us to be a bigger person. And if you're not a bigger person, it drains your energy. It drains your energy. It takes a lot of energy to be upset. It takes a lot of energy to want to get revenge on someone. It takes a lot of energy to have an attitude, and it just messes up your whole day, and it's just draining. It's too much. I don't usually deal with that at all, to be honest. And especially when you can use that energy towards something that you love to do. Whether you like making videos or doing yoga or spend time with your family, your kids, your dog, walking. You can spend all that energy on things that you actually love to do, and not negative emotions and try to get someone back for their behavior. You can't control what someone does or says, but you can control how you react and how you choose to receive it. And don't forget, we have the power to accept what they say. If you're accepting what they are saying, you're receiving it, that means you're giving them power and you think it's true. And we've talked about it. When you believe what someone says about you, you have to change your mind and your belief system, because the scripture says a man, which is the spirit, is as he thinks in his heart. So you have to change that about yourself, okay? You have to change your self-belief about yourself, and you can't make it true. And people that are very difficult to deal with, they're just a distraction. To me, I think they're testing my character. They're testing to see, am I going to be more Christ-like? Am I going to behave what I preach? Like, am I going to be more Christ-like and be the person that I'm meant to be and that I want to be? Or are you going to revert back to your old ways? And because if you think about it, it's quick to snap. It's quick to lash out. It's easy to snap. It's easy to snap back. It's easy to get angry. Those are easy things to do. It takes a lot of work and discipline to hold yourself back, to pause, to think, to watch what you say, what comes out of your mouth. That takes discipline, and that takes power. And a lot of people, they don't give themselves credit for that. They might see it as like, oh, this person's gonna walk all over you. It doesn't matter. They don't matter. It doesn't exist. Who cares? It doesn't affect me. As long as no one's in your face or crossing, big boundaries or anything like that, it's fine. Just let it go. It's not worth your time. Also, if we look at, let's see. If we look at Luke, let's see what verse this one is. Luke 6, verses 27, 28. This is another way it shows us how we should be treating difficult people. It says, but I say unto you, which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for those that despitefully use you. See, we're supposed to bless our enemies, and we're supposed to love our enemies and bless them. You can't overcome hate with more hate. You have to overcome evil with good. Somebody has to be good. Somebody has to just be like, you know what, I want peace in my life. You know, I don't want this negative energy. I want a peaceful life, you know. That's how you have a peaceful life, is to mind your business. And that's what helps me, at least. And then the scripture also says, study to be quiet and work with your hands. So you're supposed to be working and minding your business. If it has nothing to do with you, don't get in it, because it'll just be he said, she said. Someone thinks you're taking sides, and it's just a bigger headache that's not even your fight. So don't let anyone drain you and take you away from your peace. The last one, let me see if I can find it. It also says, if we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. So if we're supposed to be living and walking in the Spirit, and the Spirit is the fruit of the Spirit, so we're supposed to be walking in that also. We're supposed to be showing that. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, weakness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Long suffering. So those are the fruit of the Spirit. So if we're living in those fruit of the spirits, we also have to be able to walk in those and exhibit those and show those. All right. So let's just make sure that we don't let anyone take us out of our peace, and we are in charge of how we respond. You're not going to be in control of what someone says and how they behave, but you are in control of how you respond to it. Okay, just pause. And it's a lot of work being Christ-like and being a Christian, because sometimes you do have people that try to push your buttons. And the verse that I always remember is the two biggest commandments. The first biggest commandment is to love God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. The second biggest commandment is to love your neighbors as your own, as yourself. You got to love your neighbors as yourself. So when I have moments where I feel like someone's irritating me, because we're human, we're in the flesh, so sometimes we're going to feel irritated. That's just normal human feeling. That's just part of it. So if I ever feel like someone's irritating me, I think, okay, this is God's child. So I have to love my neighbor as myself. So I'll say, I love her. I love her. I love myself. This is God's child. It's disrespecting him if I am mean to her or not nice to her. That's how I see it. That's what helps me, at least. Even if someone's rude to me, say someone's rude to me, to be honest, I'll just try to keep my distance as much as I can. If it's something that you can't say, for example, say it's at work or something, you just, do the work that you can and keep your distance and create that boundary as much as you can. But I always go back to love your neighbors as yourselves, which is the two biggest commandments. So we have to follow that, right? We have to follow that to become better versions of ourselves and better Christians. And in the scripture, Jesus described himself as an eagle. So we're supposed to be like an eagle. So in eagles, they don't hang around with chickens, because chickens, they can't even fly. So you got to be an eagle. You got to fly high. You got to be above that. Not that you're too good for anybody. It's just you don't have time for the nonsense. You don't have time for the nonsense, and you're not going to entertain it. You're not going to entertain it. You wish them well. You wish the best for them, but you just don't have time for it. And that's how, one of the ways I feel like I want to become more Christ-like, for me at least. All right. Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.